All right, hello everybody. Hello. Sorry for the delay over the weekend, but some things came up, and then lightning took the internet off, and the service out, and just got that back on yesterday. So we're back, and we're gonna go ahead and get these three chapters for World Trigger out. The latest one just coming yesterday. We're gonna start off with 26, and we're gonna 26, 27, and 28. Now, before I begin 26, which is titled Our Shiyama Squad Part 2, I want you to just remember the two main people from if you remember that we have the squads, the headquarters sent the top A-ranked teams to go capture Yuma's to get his trigger, his black trigger. And so, what I want, the two people I want you to, the one person from that squad who's most important is Ki Tashikawa. So just remember Ki and which is going to happen, Ki and also Jin, if you remember, at the Tomakoma branch, he also has the other black trigger. I'm the only one in border officially right now who has the black trigger because Yuma's still not officially a member. So just remember that Ki and that's Key from headquarters and Jin from the Tomakoma branch who's trying to protect the Black Trigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this one. Now, in this chapter, basically what happened was a lot of you got a lot of information in it, a lot of explanations on about the different types of triggers. Well, basically it's two types of triggers that they use, two main types in border and how they function. You got to see the insides of them and how they function. And while they were explaining how the triggers were used, what you had was simultaneously at the same time, you got to see it live in action during a battle between Jin and the Arashiyama squad. Okay, versus the A-rank teams from headquarters led by Ki Tashikawa. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up in it. And they're going to go ahead and go over the border triggers. And Yuma's like, okay, I'm all ears. And this is mostly for his benefit with him because remember, he doesn't know how anything from border triggers work. And also, it's also going to help Asumu out as well because he learned some things in this, even though he is a border agent. And so that's okay. So they open up inside the trigger and what they have here, and it goes on to explain it like this. These little chips are the actual triggers. They decide what outward form the user's Tryon will take. You can set up to 8 different types of triggers. You fight by switching between offensive and defensive ones. Okay, and and I'm looking at the pictures here. This side is the main triggers for your dominant hand. Okay, these are the sub triggers for your other hand. You can use these two types at the same time. And basically, from the picture, what is shown is that the main one it looks like it's held in your right hand, or it's something from within the hand because they have it. You see, you have a person here, and it's a black silhouette with they have. Think about like your veins in your going from your fist to your arms to your back and then back to your other arm and your other hand. So that's how they have it. That's how it's shown. Okay, and so basically, it's when you have the trigger in your hand, um, the the internal parts of it can it goes from you know the main trigger is for your dominant hand. So if your dominant hand is your left hand, you're going to use that. If it's your right hand, you're going to use that. And they have sub triggers inside of them all for the other hand. Okay, so if you know, so that's basically, that's pretty easy to that's the best way to explain it without actually seeing a picture. But if you're left hand dominant, you're going to hold the sub triggers in your right hand. If you're right hand dominant, you're going to hold the sub triggers in your left hand. Okay, and you can use two types at the same time. Okay, so in Yuma, he asked a question, so you can do a lot with combos. Okay, and to go ahead first, let's look at the attack triggers Yuma might use. And what we have here, we have the A squad battling um, a couple of them against Jin right now. And this one is called the Scorpion. The Scorpion is a lightweight blade, speed oriented, attackers use often. And how to explain the way? Well, the way he shaped this one, it looks. If you follow the series Bleach, and if you're up to date with Ichigo's new, I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say if you were up to date on Bleach and you saw what Ichigo just pulled out his for his Zanpakuto, it's the Zanpakuto that is short that has, so it's kind of similar to that because it has a hole in the middle, and it's not exactly like that, but it's similar enough that so that kind of give you like a little general idea of what they're using. And of course Jin has his, and it's just like a regular shaped sword, and so they're attacking him. They're basically doing battle right now in these pages, and the explanation continues as this: the blade can be materialized at will, and it weighs almost nothing. You can attach the blade to something besides your hand. By adjusting Tryon, its shape and length can be modified. On the other hand, it's not very durable, so it can break pretty easily if you block with it. It's basically used for offense only. And basically that's what happened in the action in the background. Jin swung his sword and just broke the Scorpion, because he tried to block with it, but it just did not work. And we continue on. Next, the most popular all-purpose blade, which Jin is using right now, the Kogetsu Fox Moon. Okay, that's the name of that one. It's called the Kogetsu Fox Moon. Unlike the Scorpion, it's not easily taken out. It's not easily taken in or out. It's pretty heavy, and you can't change its shape or length. Okay, but it's balanced in high durability and striking strength. Definitely a masterpiece in total stats. And then by spending Tryon and using its special trigger options, it can momentarily extend its attack. And basically, that's also illustrated with the action of Ki and how he's made a motion with his arm, and it's formed like basically like an arrow, like the arrow on the keyboard. Yeah, so like a V-shaped arrow to the side, basically. Where they're using this attack, and he also made an X pattern onto a building, which destroyed a light pole and some of the building there. Um, and basically what happens from here on out, they're continuing the battle, and they're having conversations there. They're trying to readjust their strategies, and notice that, Jin hasn't used Fujin Windblade once. He's conserving his Tryon. And let's see, we do have one new character introduced here from we have Shiro Kikuchihara, Kazama Squad Attacker, age 16. So he's one of the people on the from headquarters, one of the headquarters. One of the he's also all of them are A rank. Okay, and basically what they're trying to do is that they're trying to like divide and conquer, because While Jin, his whole purpose there is to stall for time. He's there stalling for time, and basically, if he can stall for time and to also get them to give up, that's his main purpose in this. So if he can stall for time long enough and also make them give up, either just by okay, it's pointless, or he forcibly makes them do so to prevent, because he just doesn't want to do battle right now. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He basically just wants them to leave. He wants them to use up all their Tryon, so. And so what they have there is, they're coming up with strategies to try and yeah. So like I said earlier, they're coming up with strategies to try and find a way around Jin. They're going to try and divide. Some stay here and just try to slip out. And what they've noted that if the Tomakoma and the Shinoda have formed an alliance, they'll have two black triggers and a third of the headquarter agents. And they'll completely surpass. They'll have the most power in border basically. So you all remember that from the earlier chapters. That's basically why they're trying to do this. This is a fight over power. And when you have a fight over power, basically anything will go to achieve that power. And so we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead to this last page here because it's just basically, like I said, the conversations they're having and their strategies and it stalemates here. Basically, it's you have stalemates, no clear deciding victor yet. And we're also introduced to another brand new character, Ken Satori, from the Arashiyama squad, and he's a sniper. And they're all A rank, by the way. Like I said, these are battle of A rank teams. And so basically, where it ends off is that they're fighting in the city, but there's no civilians in any danger here because they're in a certain part where they have it where it's sectioned off where it's against the rules to go outside of this section, so they can't leave that section to do battle. And so basically that was basically the chapter in total. They're at a stalemate with each other, the teams, the squads, and so that was basically the chapter right there. But this was very informative, learning how not only learning the border triggers and getting to see the insides and how they work. But you can use combos with, you have one for your dominant hand, one for your for your other hand, a sub trigger as well, and of course all of this technology is from the neighbor world. So this is all the stuff that that border just basically reverse engineered and made their own versions of. So I very much enjoyed this chapter. It was very exciting, and it picks up to the continues with the action on with the next chapter that we're going to go ahead and get into. So let me go ahead and stop this right now, and I'm not going to say for sure. I may try and put a print screen of of the trigger so you all can see. I may just try to do that one page where I'm talking about it so you can see. So, obviously at this point you would have seen it by now, so it's kind of pointless for me to tell you after the fact, but it should have been done at the beginning of the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here and get ready for the next one.